possesses some kind of magic. Seo, with a smile on his face, finds the situation quite interesting and prepares to throw another punch, leaving Choi Gushik in shock and anticipation. As the intense confrontation unfolds, Choi Gushik attempts to use his powers to immobilize Seo, but Seo easily overpowers him with a knee to the face. Seo taunts Choi, questioning if he has any other tricks up his sleeve. Seo continues to deliver punches and blows to Choi, throwing him into windows and displaying his superior combat skills. The soldiers witnessing the spectacle are astounded by Seo's ability to defeat Choi Gushik effortlessly. Now surrounded by the remaining thugs, Seo challenges them, asking if they also want to fight. One of the thugs quickly denies the idea, and Seo orders them to gather and asks if anyone has a rope. One of the soldiers offers a rope, and Seo uses it to restrain Choi Gushik. Seo then interrogates the thugs about their bounties, but they confess that they don't have any bounties themselves and were forced to work for Choi Gushik. The soldiers suggest handing over all the thugs, claiming they must have bounties due to their criminal activities. Choi Gushik, still tied up, tries to manipulate Seo by mentioning the restrictions of city laws. Seo dismisses him and stomps on Choi's face, rendering him unconscious. Seo then questions the thugs again, and the soldiers confirm that most of them have bounties since they were former criminals. The thugs express their disappointment, realizing their fate. Seo decides to use the soldiers' car to transport all the thugs and appreciates the soldiers for their help, though he clarifies that he wasn't specifically there to assist them. As Seo dumps everyone into the car, the soldiers express their gratitude for saving their lives. Seo asks about the soldiers' special powers, referring to their skills. One soldier explains his skills in swordsmanship, tracking, and search, while Seo becomes intimidated by their multiple skills. Seo then expresses his interest in learning combat magic skills through skill books, recalling Choi's use of magic. The soldiers are surprised that Seo isn't familiar with skill books. Noticing a nearby portal, Seo inquires about it, and the soldier nervously explains that it leads to a level 1 dungeon, where they were planning to go. Seo laments not having a mercenary license to explore the dungeon. The soldier is shocked that Seo doesn't possess a license yet. As the portal opens, the military begins subjugating the area, and the soldier explains that the monsters encountered in the fields are weaker ones that survived the military's attack. To level up and gain more experience, Seo will need to hunt stronger monsters in higher-level dungeons. During the drive, the soldier ponders how a rookie like Seo, who hasn't even explored a level 1 dungeon, could defeat a C ranker like Choi Gushik. Seo asks the soldier about the favor he wanted to ask, and the soldier looks at him with a serious expression. At the dungeon gate, a medic army awaits their arrival. As the scene transitions, 5 injured individuals emerge from the portal and call for medics. Their leader expresses frustration, believing that mercenary licenses are being handed out too easily. His companion defends the recruits, acknowledging the current state of the guild. The leader vents his frustration, emphasizing his discontent with those who use their connections to obtain what they want. His companion suggests cooling down and suggests grabbing a drink. The leader questions the commotion in the level 1 dungeon and wonders if something significant happened. The companion agrees, and both the leader of the mercenaries, Captain Kong, and the leader of the medics, Captain Jang, acknowledge that an event did occur. Captain Kong asks for clarification, and Captain Jang reveals that someone handed over 10 Ravagers, including the infamous C-ranker Choi Gushik. Captain Kong is taken aback and asks if high rankers visited the field. Captain Jang explains that it is actually an F-ranker without a mercenary license who managed to capture Choi Gushik. Captain Kong is shocked and demands to know how it happened. Captain Jang reveals that the F-ranker defeated Choi Gushik, causing severe injuries such as a broken nose, 4 broken ribs, and damage to his face. Captain Kong is determined to find the F-ranker and asks where they went. Captain Zhang mentions that he saw the F-ranker heading toward the portals. In response, Captain Kong rushes toward the portal, leaving his companion questioning his actions. Captain Kong states that he needs to see it for himself and believes that if the F-ranker is the real deal, he may be onto something big. Captain Kong rushes towards the military truck shouting, "Operator! Operator!" The operator asks what the matter is, and Captain Kong asks about the guy who captured Choi Gushik and went through a portal. He wants to know which door he used. The operator seems confused, not understanding the question. Seoul and the mercenary cross the portal, and Seoul exclaims that it doesn't hurt at all and that his clothes are fine. The mercenary explains that items not made of dimensional energy cannot pass through the portal, but Seoul's clothes, made of materials found in the dungeon, have no problem. However, the mercenary mentions that these seemingly ordinary clothes actually cost over $2,000. Something catches Seoul's attention, and he asks about it. The mercenary reveals that it's a door, one of many portal doors that provide access to 38 dungeons. The specific door they use leads to Dungeon 24, but it suddenly disappears. The mercenary explains that the door will reappear once they have cleared the dungeon. Seoul asks what it means to clear the dungeon, questioning if they have to kill all the monsters. The mercenary clarifies that they only need to defeat the strongest ones. Seoul thanks the mercenary, who looks doubtful. Seoul tells the mercenary to wait there, assuring him that it will be over quickly. The confused mercenary asks why he should wait there, and Seoul takes a big leap, leaving cracks in the ground. The anxious mercenary thinks to himself, wondering who Seoul might be. He considers that with Seoul's power level, he could set a record for clearing the level 1 dungeon. The mercenary realizes that Seoul doesn't even have a search skill and worries about not finding the door within the time limit, fearing they might get trapped in the dungeon. He starts running to catch up with Seoul. Back at the truck, a screen displays Door 24 closed, and the operator exclaims in frustration. Captain Kong asks what's wrong, and the operator informs him that Door 24 just closed. Captain Kong responds with frustration, expressing his annoyance. In the distance, a few goblin monsters carrying weapons sense something and become alert. Suddenly, Seoul zooms in at incredible speed and kills the goblin monsters. After the monsters are dead, he picks up their weapons and comments on their decent quality. Seoul then stabs one of the goblin monsters and retrieves a blood diamond, expressing disappointment at only finding one after killing 3. He mentions that he has already earned enough from the bounty and that leveling up is more important. The mercenary comes across the dead goblin bodies and exclaims, "Shit! How many monsters did this guy just kill?" Using its tracking ability, the mercenary locates Seoul, who is checking his status screen. Seoul remarks that he can buy 2 skills with 102 achievement points and selects the ability Tame Blast. As he chooses the ability, 2 more goblin monsters appear from behind, but Seoul notices and kills both of them. This significantly increases his achievement points and leads to a level up. However, Seoul encounters a synchronization error on his status screen and expresses frustration. He decides to spend 100 points to buy the Summon Tree Spirit skill and summons the Tree Spirit. Seoul recognizes the spirit from when he first saw it in the jungle and initially mistook it for a fancy-looking firefly. Seoul instructs the Tree Spirit to fetch the other monsters, and the spirit flies away. Seoul contemplates the spirit's abilities and notes that it seems slow, possibly due to its low level. Seoul checks the search and track skills and purchases them. He tries out the skills and successfully tracks the landmarks of the dead goblin monsters. Suddenly, Seoul hears something and with a devilish smile, realizes that it's not a goblin. He follows the noise, finding the mercenary struggling with a monster. Seoul asks the mercenary what he is doing, to which the mercenary responds with surprise, exclaiming, "You came?" Seoul reminds the mercenary that he said he would be hunting on his own. The struggling mercenary reveals that he is the one being hunted. Seoul smirks and acknowledges the situation. The mercenary shouts for help as the monster is about to stab him, Seo swiftly kicks the monster, who manages to block the first kick with his shield but fails to dodge the second kick from Seo. Seo charges at the monster and fatally stabs him in the chest, resulting in an instant